Introduction. Do you ever wonder how to make a woman miss you, regardless of whether it's an ex? If you want to get back in touch with a lady who is gradually drifting away from you, or someone you are dating but not yet at that level, the key to making her miss you isn't what most people think. Rather, it's about completely altering your strategy. To start, cease being the fallback option. Men often make the grave error of assuming the role of the safety net. She won't ever fully respect or desire you if you're always checking in and sending her a casual "how's it going" message in the hopes that it will keep her thinking of you. Instead, you're solidifying your position as her backup plan. She will trust me and turn to you when everything else fails. Nobody desires to be there. Another common mistake is being overt. Guys often try to force nostalgia by bringing up some wonderful times they shared in the hopes that it will rekindle old feelings. But this comes off as manipulative and backfires. It's like watching a corny movie where you know the director is trying to make you cry, but you fight the emotion out of pure defiance. When you try to manipulate her feelings, it diminishes your value in her eyes and makes you appear desperate. So, what's the best way to make her miss you? Stay tuned, because it's not what you think. Creating emotional triggers that will remind her of you at the most unexpected times is the key to making sure she misses you even before she realizes it. Think of it as an emotional time capsule that is unlocked later, whether she realizes it or not. This is one of the most underutilized strategies, setting yourself up to be missed from the beginning. This isn't something you wait to do after she has distanced herself. It's about planting the seeds early on. Let's start with a straightforward one. Our sense of smell is closely linked to our memories, so if you wear a certain cologne around her on a regular basis, it will become a trigger for her to think of you whenever she smells it again. However, be smart and choose something different, familiar enough that she might encounter it in her daily life, but not so common that every guy is wearing it that way. That way, when she smells it somewhere else, her mind will immediately associate it with you. It's a subconscious connection she can't break. Another effective tactic is to use jokes to build a shared world with her that is full of jokes or specific references that only you two understand. This strengthens your bond, because every time she hears something that brings back memories of those times, she will be instantly transported back to that connection, and the kisser will miss the special way you made her feel that no one else can replicate. Of course, these moves must be made early on. Trying to pull this off after she has moved on may be too late. But for those who are still in the game, whether you're seeing her occasionally or casually, it's never too late to start. Even something as simple as wearing a new cologne can start to rekindle those feelings. You will always have the advantage if you are deliberate from the beginning. This is a potent reality. Just as crucial as knowing what to say is knowing when to leave. Too many men undermine themselves by remaining around for too long and believing that more time equates to more connections. When you leave her wanting more, the real magic happens, and most guys totally miss the mark. Imagine this. You've reconnected with someone after she started to distance herself, or perhaps an ex finally answers your messages. Everything is going well, the conversation is flowing, and there is chemistry. But then, what do most men do? They hang on for dear life, desperate to keep the interaction going, thinking it will make her feel closer. This is where they blow it. Instead of leaving her on a high note, they overstay their welcome, gradually slipping into needy territory. The harsh reality is that the longer you stay, the faster your value decreases. Even though you may feel like everything is going well as you climb that emotional hill, if you persevere past the peak, the descent can be cruel in that once flawless vibe is gone, she will begin to show small signs of desperation, and before you know it, all the attraction you have built up is vanishing. You must learn how to leave on a positive note when things are going well, because that is when you should end the conversation or hang out. Even if she reaches out, don't let it drag on. Cut it off while it's still enjoyable and exciting, so she doesn't feel like she needs more. The moment she gets her full fix, you lose your leverage. The difference between her thinking about you constantly and her gradually forgetting you while you're ahead, and her constantly wondering when she'll receive that next rush of excitement, is this easy move. But it's also one of the easiest to mess up. Here's the unpleasant truth. Especially on social media, stalking is a surefire way to ruin your chances of dating any woman. Let's face it, it's not just about not being creepy. It's also about preserving your own sanity and preventing the emotional collapse that results from becoming fixated on every aspect of her life. You're inviting emotional turmoil into your life. You'll wind up torturing yourself over something that may mean nothing at all, but you'll turn it into a full-fledged soap opera in your head, gradually driving yourself insane when you see her smiling in a photo with a guy and your thoughts suddenly go into overdrive. Who is he? Are they dating? Or is that her new boyfriend? Since you know every little detail about her life, including where she's been and who she's with, it's nearly impossible to avoid making a mistake and inadvertently revealing how much you're watching her. This mental tailspin is the last thing you need if you're trying to play it cool and get back in touch with her, but it goes beyond just ruining your mindset. The truth is that obsessively liking her posts or leaving comments on them does the exact opposite of what you think it does. You're not putting yourself on her radar in a positive way. Rather, you're solidifying your position as the guy she keeps on the back burner, the one she knows will always be there, and you're the safety net. How was that concert last week? You're acting smooth, but all she's thinking is, wait, how does he know I was at a concert? Boom. Not the main event if you want to win this game. The key is not to stalk, but to detach. Let her wonder what you're up to, instead of constantly knowing where she's been or who she's with. Don't feed her ego by being the guy who's always watching. Instead, make her realize that you're the one who's in control of your own life. The fourth strategy to make a woman miss you isn't just about mystery and jealousy. It's about playing with her mind without her even realizing it. Let's face it, women can smell manipulation from miles away, especially when a guy is trying to make them jealous. The problem is that most men are far too obvious about it, and it backfires every time. If you start bragging to your ex or the woman you're interested in about how many dates you're going on or how many women are after you, you're not making her jealous, you're just coming off desperate. She immediately knows you're trying to trigger a reaction, and guess what? That only makes her feel like she has you wrapped around her finger instead of making her jealous. You've just reminded her how much control she has over you. Mission failed. So how do you do it right? It's easy. Be enigmatic and publish just enough information about yourself on social media to pique her interest rather than sharing every single detail. Women are wired to fill in the blanks. So, for instance, don't post a selfie at the club with a random woman or a group photo of your boys. Instead, post something ambiguous, like a picture of 2 glasses at a table or a beautiful concert scene with no other people in the frame. She'll think, wait, who's he? When she is unable to figure it out, her mind begins to play tricks on her, asking whether he is happy without me or with another woman. The less she knows, the more she will want to know. The more questions she has, the more she thinks about you. That's the power of keeping her guessing. Another key: don't overshare if she asks what you did last weekend. Be vague. Oh, I had a great time skiing. Don't mention who you were with. Let her stew over it. Was it a date? Was it just a friend? The uncertainty drives her wild. But here's where the controversy comes in. Many will tell you that playing games is wrong and that you should be upfront and honest. Well, here's the truth. Mystery and a bit of emotional tension are what keep the attraction alive. If you're always an open book, she's going to lose interest fast. The hard pill to swallow is that in the world of romance, being too predictable is the death of desire. If she's never wondering what you're up to or who you're with, she's never going to miss you. So forget the cliches of posting thirst traps or flaunting your social life. Instead, keep her guessing. The less she knows, the more she'll crave your presence. And that's how you make a woman truly miss you, all right? Let's go on to the last tactics, which is where the magic happens. We've discussed mystery and envy, but now it's time to step up the competition, and this is when things really start to go crazy. Competition's power competition. This is the reality. Most people won't tell you that a woman won't miss you unless she feels like she has to compete for your attention if she knows she's the priority. However, what if she suddenly has to pull your attention away? If you're always available and waiting for her to text or call, she'll sense it and won't feel the need to pursue you. But when she sees that you're busy, not just with work, but with something exciting, like a new hobby, social group, or even a new flame, she's going to feel the pressure. Suddenly, you're not sitting at home depressed on a Friday night. You're out living, which sets off a primal reaction. Women want what they can't have, and it will drive them crazy if they discover that their lives are going well without her. You're not that guy waiting by the phone or stalking her on social media anymore. Instead, you're out skiing in the Swiss Alps with a new group of friends, and now she's vying for attention once more. That's how you get her attention, and she'll want you even more when she realizes that she might be your fallback option. 6. Be a different man. And this is the best tactic for the 6th method. To change the script, you must start breaking the invisible rules she has placed on you. Stop responding right away, stop giving her your full attention, and most importantly, start living for yourself. Women expect certain behaviors, especially when they have previously held power over you. You can also improve your appearance. If you were normally dressed casually, turn up looking nice in a suit. If you were clean-shaven, grow a beard. These small adjustments convey a strong message. You've changed, and now she's the one who must figure you out when you show up acting and looking different. You're not the same guy she knew before. Your unpredictable nature makes you interesting, and that intrigue will cause her to miss you and begin to wonder what else has changed about him. 7. Get rid of small errors. Lastly, and this is a game changer, get rid of the small errors that are destroying your prospects. To recap, introduce competition, be different, and get rid of those sneaky mistakes that are keeping you stuck. Do this, and not only will she miss you, but you'll be the guy every woman wants but can't quite figure out. Hey, if you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you want to hear next. Your feedback fuels the fire, and trust me, the next video is going to take things to a whole new level. Most guys unknowingly follow patterns they think are attractive because they've been doing them since high school.